Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Denver, Colorado. Today, do a little investigating, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We're gonna get to the truth.
That's right.
About living in Brighton, Colorado.
Let's check it out, guys. What's up, guys? We are the Mile High Property Brothers. I am property brother number one, Eli Schmidt, and this is, oh, that came out really weird. Property
No,
brother
we're gonna keep
also
rolling.
number one.
Hey, we are true to our audience. Number one. Where did that come from?
Also property brother number one. Will
Self-proclaimed number one. I will humbly take number two.
There we go. There we go.
Listen, if you're still here, we do these every Tuesday and Thursday.
Subscribe to the channel.
We super appreciate our fans.
Notification
We got a couple
bell.
shout outs to do for some folks that have bought in Colorado recently that we want to give some shout outs. In addition to this guy, humbly, yes, we are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado, which means we love helping you guys out with your real estate needs as much as we love making these videos. That number popping up below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages. We're also the guys who answer the emails. Primarily that guy. You know why? Because he's number two, and I'm the number one guy out helping on the deal.
That's how it works.
Well, with that being said, guys, we're gonna have some fun. But hey, give us a call if there's anything that you need. Like and subscribe if you like our channel. We super appreciate the support. But today, the truth behind Brighton, Colorado, super intriguing. Full disclosure, so we're here at Brighton High School today. Super great spot. I'm a native of Colorado, which also is the other reason why it makes me number one. This freaking guy. But a really intriguing spot. Not too many people know a lot about Brighton. So we're gonna dive into it, and there's definitely some like yay or nay, but there's a lot of unknown. I grew up here going to my grandparents' house every week and had a great time. So let's dive into it and just really give you guys some facts and some things to look forward to when it comes to Brighton.
Right, guys, diving into it. This was a super fun one for myself to do because although we do business all over Colorado, I learned a lot of stuff about Brighton as we were going to do this video.
You know who you learned it from? Numero uno.
Not gonna lie, I actually did. So my previous experience with Brighton has been primarily the new build side of it. And Brighton, Colorado is on the northeast side of Denver.
Correct.
And we've done a bunch of deals up there, but it had been primarily new build. So as we were going up there, man, we went to some
Brighton's been an old town. So Brighton has one of the oldest, old towns, main streets in Colorado.
One of the original ones in the state.
One of the originals. And Brighton has been very stagnant as far as, growth overall until recently, until the past couple of years. But the past couple of years has been drastic. So if you haven't, even if you're local to Colorado, if you haven't been to Brighton in the past 2 years, you think it's little old Brighton with Brighton High School and not much going on. There's a lot going on. What I super love about that is you are actually not too far from DIA. So even though you're northeast of Denver, correct? Man, you're probably 25, 28 minutes from the airport. Not too far. You're not too far from Reunion. There's a lot of development that's pushing up toward Brighton. And a lot of times there just wasn't much between Denver and Brighton. You see some Commerce City. You'd have some farms. You'd have the Mile High Flea Market kind of on the way out there. But there just wasn't much to go to. And unless you had family in Brighton, there just wasn't much out there. But with as much as Colorado's growing, even though there's still so much to grow into. We talked about this, right? The outskirts of Colorado is 35 minutes away from downtown Denver. It's still, we've got plenty to grow into, but one of the next main spots that's getting tapped into is Brighton. And they've got a super cool community out there. You've got an older community that's been there for a long time, but you've also got some young professionals, some young families that are out there because of price point homes. You've got some extraordinary ranches out there, but you have a lot of affordable homes out there as well. Brighton High School has always been super competitive. They were state champions a long time ago with wrestling. My uncles wrestled there. So super competitive in sports, but you've got some young families out there. We were actually hanging out watching some baseball at the sports complex. You guys are probably looking at that right now, but it's got like this small town feel.
Super, yeah.
But it's still, man, it's almost like a Friday Night Lights town. Where like, man, like it's got the small town feel, but it's not too far for some things. But it's also growing and aspiring. It's really fun to watch. So if you're curious about Colorado and your commute to certain areas or your price point, man, what a cool up and coming spot that will be full of equity as it moves forward.
What I love about it is you do have, like for me, I'm more of a new build guy. I love character in homes, but what Brighton has to offer, guys, is a lot of new builds if you're like me and that's what you like. But then you take a 7-minute drive down to the main street, and like we were down there Saturday right now. We were down there, and there's a car show going on. Just just small town, almost
small
like
town,
Andy
family
Griffith,
oriented. Take your kids out.
It's like a little Mayberry town.
Everybody kind of knows each other, but
Yeah.
hey, maybe not because it's growing, but really cool. And like the other thing that is notoriously spreading through Colorado, especially the Denver metro area, is some of the best Mexican food is in Brighton.
Yep.
And it's cool. It's not these super high, overly romantic, fancy looking places. It's like real mom and pop shop, Hispanic food. Love it. Like people literally drive from Denver to Brighton just to have great food. And if you live here, like, cool, man, like you kind of have access to that while still enjoying some of the sports and recreation. And again, the biggest part for everybody is it's still not that bad of a commute to the airport, to downtown, to Boulder, wherever you're going. Like it's not even the Denver Tech Center. You're probably within 45 minutes. I think it took us 44 or 43 minutes to drive from Denver Tech Center, which is where our office is, out to Brighton. And it's post-COVID. There's a little bit of traffic now, and it was still under 45 minutes. So, man, regardless of where you're going, even though it's a little pushed out, it's worth the equity. It's worth the community. And, man, like, there's just going to be, it's going to be full of equity.
Now, to dive into some of the logistics as far as pricing goes, when we say more affordable, what does that actually look like? So, average home price in Brighton was around the high 300s, which
Strong.
Denver, 700,000.
They're getting it done.
Broomfield, we just did mid-8s. I think it was like 550, 580.
Correct.
Brighton, way less.
Now you do have some townhomes and some condos that are going to bring that price points average down a little bit. However, man, like you're still getting into single family homes, new builds out there for mid-5s and under, right? So there's still a lot of cool stuff out there, and because it's still a little bit more spread out, yes, there are some established lots where you've got big yards. Really cool. Really cool. And hey, I grew up there. Maybe I'm partial. Either way, for me growing up there, it was almost like memory lane, coming out here today and just checking out a lot of things and like what we like about it, what we don't like about it. And just for me, man, I haven't actually spent time out here in years, and seeing where it's going, yet still seeing the high school and seeing everybody compete in sports. And you still have these neighborhoods that feel like the small town neighborhood, but you can see everything growing around it, but it hasn't, the town itself like hasn't lost its integrity or some of its culture. For me, just looking back on it, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool, and I'm excited for families that are getting out there because I think too much, personally, soapbox here, it's nice for kiddos and other people to kind of like have that sense of community feel where even though we're getting after it and having fun in sports and school and everything, you still feel like you've got a community around you and you kind of grow up like, we saw kids riding bikes.
Crazy, right? Not drunk people on scooters.
Like
Denver.
man, like you,
actual kids
are riding bikes out here, and it's like I rode a bike when I was growing up, and like man, it's cool. Even as an adult to see kiddos doing that, you're like, man, they're still like, I'm sure they got an iPad at home, but they're growing up a cool way, and they're around a good community, And again, like we always talk about the business hat, and like, hey, let's make good business decisions with where we decide to purchase. But because of that location, And because Brighton has chose to grow, man, that's going to be a super diamond that not a lot of people are thinking of. And in addition to growing up around there and having a good spot for yourself, the equity you're going to have in your home in the next 3 to 5 years is going to be phenomenal. So super cool. We're super fans. He's a fan because I say so.
I am a fan.
Number one.
If you guys have not checked out Brighton, or
He looks a lot like Scottie
list,
Pippen, huh?
I love Scottie.
It's like a
Pippen.
Michael Jordan
He
thing.
was one of my favorites, man.
Number
funny
one. I don't
enough.
even know why he.
If you guys have not checked out Brighton, or you're checking out Northern Colorado and Brighton's not on your list, I've got 2 words for you. Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it. Very good.
Johnny Red Neat, okay? Do it. Do it.
All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. We'll have some more on Brighton coming up very, very soon, so stay tuned. And, guys, again, we are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado, and, yes, we love helping you guys with your real estate needs just as much as we love making these videos. So that number popping up below are the guys who answer the phone calls and text messages. We're also guys that answer the emails. So anything we can do for you guys, we are super excited. But until next video, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, whatever that looks like for you. We'll see you next time.
See you guys. This is going to be, let's say, the truth about living in Brighton, Colorado. Just waiting on the homie Will.
5 hours later.
Let's do this. When I turn my head.
We need to, like, post some funny shit.
The truth. Let's do that.